Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. In one of my last videos about a firmware update for the LG CX, I mentioned that I think, or I assumed actually, that it would be the last firmware for this TV, but I was completely wrong because now we have a new firmware 044076, at least here in Australia. And yeah, what should I say? It's running perfect. There is no issue so far, and the more I'm watching this TV with test videos like this here, that's a Dolby Vision test video. I know there's no Dolby Vision on YouTube, but that's HDR10 of course then, but it looks just crazy good. I mean, there's a reason why this TV is in my home cinema room, and yeah, that's the reason, because it's just a great TV. But now let's talk a little bit more about the update and yeah, what are the changes actually. And as we have seen, there is not much information. As always, we don't know anything of what has changed. Minor bug fixes, minor improvements. This can mean everything or anything. So what I can tell you, during the update and after the update, I haven't experienced any problem. I mean, I haven't experienced actually any problem during an update, because all what you do, it will pop, yeah, the message that there is a firmware available. You download this in the background, and after you restart the TV, it will be updated. So there is no issue. There was never ever an issue. And also, I'm testing this firmware right now for around a day with gaming, with everything, with audio return channel connected and stuff like that. I couldn't find any problem. LG made an announcement, or I'm not even quite sure if it's LG, but there's some rumor or some information going on the internet that LG is fixing the auto dimming issues on their TVs. You know, when you don't have TPC GSR disabled in the service menu, and if you don't know what this is, please just Google it. They taking care about this apparently. So I don't think that's the firmware, because the announcement or the info what I got about this was today, and the firmware was released a couple of days ago. So I don't think, but anyway, I don't know it, but I don't think that this is the firmware for it. And I'm not even quite sure if they're going to fix this issue on the LG CX. And by the way, I have to say I never experienced this on my LG G2, this issue. And why I'm not saying the CX, because I have disabled TPC and GSR most likely since the very first day, because maybe I got a hint or advice from someone. But I was not aware of this anymore, but the other day I checked and it's disabled, and I'm very sure I have done this maybe the very first day when I got the TV, or when I started playing around with the service menu, which you shouldn't do. Okay, so again, I don't think that this recent firmware update here, what we have, is the fix for the auto dimming issue on the LG TVs. And by the way, it's not just for certain people, it's an issue, okay? Depending on the content what you're watching, okay? Anyway, I don't think that's the fix for this, but maybe I'm wrong about that, because again, we don't have any information what was changed, because LG, as always, is not providing much information. But let's continue and let's talk about calibration picture settings, because just 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks, I did a complete new calibration on the TV with Karman, and I used the auto calibration function, and I'm actually quite happy with the result. And of course, I was wondering if after the update was there any difference, and yeah, of course I checked this. And after I did some testing and after I verified my calibration again, I can tell you, no, there's no difference at all, at least not in the HDR game mode, which I verified here, and that's what you can see here right now. The D65 calibration is still on spot in my opinion. It can be better, but again, it was auto cal, which is not that precise as when you do it manually, but I'm very, very happy actually with the result. Yeah, again, there's no difference in my opinion. I checked, of course, the other settings like Dolby Vision gaming mode and stuff like that. I couldn't find any difference. And also when we're talking about the maximum peak brightness, I had a maximum peak brightness in HDR in Karman. I need to say this, Karman measured around 650 candela or nits, and I had the same result after the firmware update. So there is no difference in terms of calibration, and in my opinion also no difference in terms of the maximum peak brightness from my CX. So let's just quickly talk about the audio return channel and about the issues what many users are experiencing, not just with the LG CX, not just with a Pioneer receiver, with all the TVs out there. Okay, so I heard a lot of complaints because it is a big issue. It is a big problem, not with the CX. I'm not saying the CX has a problem with that. It's the combination between the appliances what you use in combination. That's the problem, because just because you're experiencing issues in combination with your AV receiver, that doesn't mean that the TV is actually, or it's the fault from the TV. It doesn't mean that, okay? What I can tell you is my CX and also my G2 was always connected to this AV receiver from Pioneer, which is a very old one, not very old one, it's maybe 2 years old or whatever, but no HDMI 2.1 ports and stuff like that. But audio return channel, or the functionality on this receiver with 3 different TVs like the LG CX, this one, G2, and my QN95B, which by the way I sold already to make room and space for the LG G3. I never had any problems. I never had any problems that this was not working. Even, I have to say, I just connected the HDMI on the right ports, and the TV actually and the receiver, they're doing this, the rest. I don't need to activate anything on the TV or on the receiver, so I'm very happy with that. So again, if you're experiencing issues with the audio return channel, that doesn't mean it's necessarily the TV. So what is my summary, what is my resume for this firmware update? And there is no issues. I can't find any issue. I watched Netflix today, a couple of, not hours, but for some quite time. So there's no problem. Yesterday evening I played Diablo 3 on the PlayStation 5 here. By the way, I have Resident Evil 4. I haven't quite tested this game so far, but anyway, there is no problem at all what I can see. So in my opinion, you can update the firmware without any issue, but please always keep in mind I'm using a 65-inch version here. In Australia maybe there are slightly different firmware versions depending on what region you are living in. I don't know, but with my CX 65-inch version, and I tested gaming, Netflix, YouTube and whatever audio return channel, there is no problem at all. But as always, I don't understand why we're not getting more information from LG. What is actually changed? Because minor bug fixes, minor software fixes, I mean, that's fine, but maybe there is more behind that. Anyway, I'm happy with this TV. And again, there's a reason why this sits in my in my cinema room actually, because it's just a great TV. And I promise you, I will never sell this TV, okay? Never ever, because this was my first, or it's still my first OLED TV, and it's like with children. You don't want to sell your firstborn, okay? The second one, you don't care, because, just kidding, of course. But no, the CX stays here because I have a very big user base actually. Let's just, I don't want to have any copyright protected material here on my video, but anyway, it's a great TV, and nevertheless, I'm looking forward for the LG G3. So just quickly off topic, but I'm not going to say that the LG G3 will be so much better than the CX that it is worth to upgrade, okay? Anyway, let's see when I'm getting the G3. I can't wait anymore because I have heard a lot about this TV, but that's for a different video. Today, firmware update, LG CX, no issues at all. Go and update, but please don't complain if something is failing. Thank you.